I'll right on with the next German Impulse. Division card for the 40, so 2 division cards. Where's all the big stuff? Have we, have we really got rid of them all? They must be in there somewhere. I know we did get rid of a few at the beginning and midway. Okay, fuel checks to be made. Right, no primary card. They're both command value 1. That's the lowest number. So okay, we might get some. But we just destroyed the last wear unit, didn't we? Okay, so checking for fuel. We're on 23rd, aren't we? So there's nothing in there for the 23rd, but there is the 15th PG division. There's 2 units in that division. Yeah, and they're out on the map. So they're going to get marked out of fuel, and that card's then going to be discarded. Okay, so that's these 2 guys here. Well, that's quite nice. So he's marked out of fuel, and this guy, I think, repaired back up. I think he repaired, didn't he? However, he's marked out of fuel as well. And then we'll also get to discard this card. So that's nice. We like that. Okay. So activate 2nd Panzer and Lehr divisions. So like I've said, the Lehr division's all gone. And in fact, what else? We had 4 units destroyed. I think it was an infantry unit, was it not? Yeah, it was an infantry unit. So the 2nd Panzer units must still all be around. There's none of them in the reserve units box. So let's go and have a look, see where they are. Okay, we have one of them here, full strength with an IP. One of them, this is a unit across the river here, full strength in a forest. And the other one's stacked with an infantry. Is it an infantry unit? He's been reduced, and I believe the infantry as well has been reduced. So he's in low supply. So there's a difference to the movement. Well, however, not so sure there's going to be any movement, is there? Unless they have some get-outs, mind you. That's quite possible. Okay, so well, the only thing we can do with this card is activate them. So, and like I say, the Lehr units are all gone, so it's just the 3 2nd Panzer units to activate. So there's no roadblocks, yada yada yada. The army objectives in Dinant, isn't it? And they've got to reach that, so that's going to stay put. So let's see if we can move them. Now, the fact one of them is in low supply, let me just have a look here. So not done this yet. Movement methods for unsupplied units. A German unit in low supply, I was reading this recently because Martin came up with some with a comment regarding on BGG, posted a sort of question and then a follow up. Maybe the game he was been playing himself, where a unit was in low supply and able to go and leave a VP hex because they're not bound by. Well, I'll read it. A German unit in low supply, out of supply, or isolated moves according to movement method 1. So, but movement method 1 doesn't abide by the restrictions of 9.21, which means they don't care about protecting towns and VP hexes and all the rest. So it's quite interesting. I suppose their main concern, well, is to try and get back in supply. And it says, and then it carries on, if eligible and within the limitations of its supply state. Sorry, that was part of that, what I just read. So, if they can, they'll move by movement method 1, ignoring the restrictions. And then, if unable to move via movement method 1, do not check subsequent methods. Instead, after completing all movement for supplied units, move the unit towards the closest hex from which supply may be traced. Enter such a hex and stop it if possible. If already in a hex from which supply may be traced, do not move. I'm assuming that could happen if... Well, actually, it could have happened already. The fact they're marked in low supply, they might still now be able to trace supply, but that is not the case. So, but I suppose the other thing could be once the other 2nd Panzer unit's moved, that unit could then possibly trace supply. I don't see that happening either, but however. Okay, so, well, we're not going to consider... Well, we are considering from method 1, aren't we? But he's not going to be able to do that. Because method 1 is... There's only 3 steps to it. In fact, well, the second one, we move adjacent to the muse, that's been eliminated now. That movement method's not there because they've already done that, released the OKW. So it's either X at the map, which is an unsupplied unit cannot do that anyway. The other option is enter an empty allied VP hex. So if for some reason this guy had been sitting adjacent to an allied VP hex, then he would be able to just stroll into it. Okay, so he's not going to move at all, and once we move the other 2 units, if there's a chance in moving him to a hex closer to supply, then he'll do that. But you can see he's surrounded. He's not able to move, and it doesn't look like there's any gouts there that I can see. So, right. Okay, so let's look at the other 2 units then and see if they're going to make a move. Yeah, I don't think a lot's happening here. 2 things. This unit, let's just select number 3, and I've came down to methods 10 to 13 because nothing else doing. He's adjacent to an allied VP town, which has got the 5 strength. So unless he can reach another hex, which he can't, he's restricted to moving away from that. And the other one, this unit is holding this unit surrounded. So he's got movement arrows. His first movement arrow would be in here. Okay, he wouldn't follow his movement arrows, but he would be able to get 1 hex closer to his army objective. But he would be still... Actually, if he moved there... Actually, that might be an option then, is it? Because he's got to keep this guy surrounded. So he can't move via movement arrows. Can he move 1 hex closer to his army objective? So, let's just say he was to move there. Is this guy still surrounded? Oh, this unit's bracketed, so that answers the question. If this unit hadn't been bracketed, I think he would have been able to do that. Because this unit can now move freely into this hex. So, yeah, like I say, if he had been bracketed, if he had been not bracketed, I think he could have moved across there. Because I think that unit would have still been surrounded. So it looks like a lot of nothing's happening here, I think. I mean, yes, there's attack determinations to look at, but... So, can't move closer to his army objective. No, this guy's also surrounded, isn't he? He can't do nothing. There's no infiltrate. They're already adjacent to an allied unit. No, they're not going to move. So, after determining their movement, can this unit move? Well, he can't. He can't move. He's surrounded. So, that's that. Yeah, so attack determination for this unit, I suppose he's actually got 2-to-1 odds on this guy, innit? Well, he's got 2-to-1. No, it's going to be 1-to-1, isn't it? Because it's 4 against 2. Right, hold on. We've not got a support card. We've not got any reserves. So, situational strength. It's 4 against 2, but he's not enough horse, does he? No. He's got an IP, so that's 4 against 3, and he's adjacent to supply damage units. That's 4 against 4. So yeah, so it's 1-to-1 odds. He would be attacking from 1 hex. So I'm thinking this is probably not even possible, is it? Oh, modifiers. Yeah, both elite as well. So, well, actually, maybe that's not the one he would go for then. I'm just looking back here. Yeah, hang on a second. This is too strong. Admittedly, the unit underneath that's dispersed, but it's still the strength comes into it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not. But this would be 4 against 3. So that's slightly. That was 4 against 4, wasn't it? So that's 4 against 3. So this is a slightly better odds. It's still 1-to-1, but it's above 1-to-1, whereas this is equal to 1-to-1. Yeah, and he's not in a forest. He's not got a unit adjacent. Okay, so I think this is the attack check here. There is no mod though because they're both elites. And there's no support card, so it is just 1-to-1. It's probably the same. Right, I can't see that. I'm sure you can't see it either. But it's a 6. Can we see? Yeah. 6, so that's unlikely, isn't it? Cancel less than 2-to-1 or defender in the town. So. Right, so that's not happening. And the only other unit to check was this one, wasn't it? What is he? He's 3 against 3, but however, he's in a forest. So he's got +1 for the forest, +1 for a jade. Yeah, that's not happening either. Nope. Low supply. Well, actually, they can still attack, can't they? Yeah, I think it's just when they go out of supply. Low supply, no combat attack may be played. It says German may not exit the map if unable to trace supply using movement method 1. Yeah, well, we've done all that. There's actually nothing to say it can't attack though. It's going to get. Oh, you only check. It's only the defender you check for these things. So, I mean, you start with our unit, but that's not going to come into it. But no, there's nothing it can attack, is there? He's 3 strength. This is going to be a situational 5, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Nah, that's not happening either. So it's kind of a whole lot and nothing, like I say. Oh, he can build an IP though, can't he? I think again that's only out of supply, or maybe I've got that one wrong. Hang on, let me check. So you think I'd start retaining some of these, but low supply may not receive replacements. Yeah, I can build an IP. It's when they're out of supply I can't build an IP. So, well, there's that. So he builds an IP, and I think the other unit as well, the one here in the forest, builds an IP. But that's kind of nasty actually, because I was thinking about coming down with these guys, so that's added another little bit to him. So I suppose it wasn't for nothing, but not a terribly big German impulse again, is it? Rather quick and yeah. Okay, well I think that's it. So we've only got 5 cards left. I'm just gonna have a wee count of the German deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, 13. They've only got 13 cards, so still not seen the army group card. So that's good. Right, okay. Will I carry on or should I pause this? Oh, give me a sec. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take a wee cut there, guys. Not sure if I've got the time to carry on, so I might as well at least cut the video here. And so, yeah, I was having a look about to see what I might be able to do next, but I've not got a clue. So maybe a wee bit of time off camera, having a look at things. I'll still come back and know what I'm doing anyway, but okay, be back soon. Cheers. Hi all. Right, back to the action. Again, I've been away for a little while, but so we'll just try to catch up a little bit. A couple of things I wanted to mention. I had a wee sort of talk recently about what was it? Oh, retreating an out of supply unit, wasn't it? Hang on a sec. Retreating an out of supply stack. Now there's a mechanised unit and an infantry unit in the stack. Now where was this again? Well, actually, the units got eliminated, wasn't it? It was the ones down the south east here, wasn't it? And I noted that if it's mechanised, if a unit's mechanised and out of supply, it may move only 1 hex. And then I thought to myself, well, what happens when it's got to retreat? Can it only retreat 1 hex? I kind of thought it would. It didn't matter in the situation because we're both being eliminated anyway, but I've got this wrong. John Brown, also Martin commented saying it was pretty clear that the rules for out of supply says the unit may move only 1 hex, but there's nothing to say it can't retreat 2 hexes. Now this is what I'm getting muddled up with, and I have done on a few previous occasions regarding advance after combat as well, because advance after combat and retreat and I suppose reinforced battle, they're not movement, they're not classed as moving, so so technically that doesn't come into it. So they're different things. Move is a different thing from what retreat is. So and John Brown made a comment also that he said that doesn't kick in until the units are isolated, in which an infantry may move or retreat only 1 hex and mechanised may not move or retreat. So that's when they talk about move and retreat. I guess it was dispersed that was throwing me, but that's a different thing, because it's dispersed says it may not move, attack or advance, but then it also says units stacked with it may retreat only 1 hex. So, but then again, move is different from retreat. So there you are, Grant. It's quite simple. So I've got to try and get my head around about that. I'm trying to remember that these things are different. I suppose you know it's because you're actually moving the unit, and you think it's moving it, obviously, but it's not. It's a different state. It's retreat, advance after combat, reinforced battle. They're all different. Okay, so that one got cleared up. That's good. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, assault coordination. And I was talking about it was in battle here where I said that I had to do one combat before the other because it would have meant that one of the units was getting drawn into a combat that I didn't want it to be drawn into. And I had remember seeing this on a forum before, and that way I looked back on it, and it was under the German sole rules, and John Butterfield had confirmed that all units, you don't get a choice, they have to attack assault coordination. Now, John Brown's said that, okay, rules is written, that's how it is, but he doesn't quite see the sense in it. And funnily enough, looking back on the post that John Butterfield had confirmed this one, Martin had made a comment too that he didn't really see the sense. I mean, if you've got units attacking one unit, what is the reason that they've got to attack? You know, you're the one that's attacking. Surely you can say, right, you guys don't attack, you know, you guys go in, you know, if you're the general or whoever it is that's controlling it all and whatever. So there's probably some thematic reason for it. It just would have been nice if John Butterfield had maybe came up with what the reason behind it had been, because it kind of doesn't really make that much sense unless we get something to say, okay, if this happened, that happened, and that's how it would be. But I can't quite think of anything, but there's probably something out there that would make sense to it being like that. I suppose, I mean, I didn't really make any odds there. I just done it in the order anyway to avoid it happening. Whether it comes up and I'm in a position where it's going to have to happen and I'm not wanting it to happen, then I might have to make a call on that one. But according to what the rules are, that's how it says it, so that's probably how I'm going to go with. Okay. One other thing, while we're up at that combat, I had noticed, just watch back, oh no, was it here? No, sorry, it wasn't the combat that I had made, it was the last German impulse, and we'd done a couple of checks. Now, it was the 2nd Panzer units, because the lower units were eliminated, that was it. And it was this unit here that had the best check, and I was looking at this unit, and then eventually I think he'd done the check here because the odds were slightly better, but it didn't come to an attack. But then I went in and looked at this unit. Well, technically at first he might have been able to join up with him and attack into here. Now, whether I thought about that and just thought, well, there's 5 strength in here. However, it's still so we've got 4. See now that might have been a better check. There's 4 strength there, and this unit that's in low supply is 3, so he can still attack. This is a lead unit, and he's an active unit, so that would be 7 against 5. Now, the unit under there is dispersed as well, so add to or subtract from the defending unit strength for any of the following defender situations: dispersed or low supply. So my guess is that dispersed, although the unit on top's not dispersed, the one underneath is. So it's got 5 strength, it's going to get a +1 for having an adjacent ally supplied unit, so it takes up to 6, but then the dispersed situation is going to take it back down to 5 again. So it is actually 7 to 5. And what was this? 43. You know what? I might just. Well, I can't really leave it if we should have checked here instead of here. The reason I noticed it was I then went back and checked this unit by itself to see if it could make an attack on, I think it was this guy, because he's only 3 strength. Well, it turns out he's 5 strength as well when you add up the situation. But what I did remember, and this is one that is so easy to forget, when you're doing these checks, the lead unit has to be more than 1 step. It needs to be 2 steps or greater. This unit's only about 1 step, so he couldn't be a lead unit to do a check by himself. Now, he can assist this unit. If this unit's a lead unit, considering an attack here, he can assist with that, yes. But afterwards, I shouldn't been able to do the check. But then also got me thinking, well, I missed out thinking about attacking here. So that would have been 7 to 5 or 4 to 3. Surely 7 to 5 is better odds, isn't it? Right, so yeah, I just went and had a look. I mean, the odds are, they're still it's not above 1.5 to 1. It's above 1 to 1, but it's slightly better odds that would be attacking here rather than attacking that. But I looked back in the video and I rolled, but I was rolling to check this unit and I rolled a 6, and I'm just looking at the table and okay, there is if I roll a 1, then this attack would go ahead. But I have to feel like I've got to roll the dice again, because I had an incident recently where I rolled and I was going to use that dice roll and it didn't feel right, so kind of hoping I don't get a 1 here, but so well, we'll just do it. It feels like I should be doing this, so sorry, before I do, let me just double check I'm getting this right. Yeah, this is right, and maybe I should just be using that dice roll because it would have been checking here instead of here, but let's just hope it's not a 1. Oh, it's a 6 again. There we go. Okay, good. Yeah, just feels a bit weird, that sort of thing. I feel like I need to do it again for some reason, but we hadn't really moved on. I've not drawn any other cards or anything like that. Well, I've no cards left, so so no new information had changed as such. So I could have just sort of said, well, that dice roll was that. But anyway, that's it done now. Okay, so it's on an Allied Impulse now. 5 cards left, and while I was looking at all this, and maybe some of you looking at it might have had a thought as well, I did mention, I think only in the last part there, that I hadn't used my any one unit move. And we do have, I also mentioned the last part, I think, that we had Houghton free and able to stroll into it. Now I can't activate that's the green, it's maybe not the best colour that when they've got all these IP markers there. That's just to state that it was the 18 core that I activated the last time. So we can't activate the 18 core, even though that we've drawn the primary card for them, but and there's no other units that I've got that I can move into there apart from doing my any one unit move. Now I couldn't also still target one of them for any one unit because they've already done an activation, but I could target one of these British units and move it into Houghton. So that was a little bit of a thought. I don't know if that's important or not. I feel like we've shut off all these units to supply anyway. None of them are going to be able to trace, and I know we said Houghton was the place that they wanted to trace to at that time, but because we've moved these units into here, they can't get through to Houghton now anyway, and the 58 core units here don't need to go through Houghton, they can go through La Roche here. So yeah, just a thought, I suppose. I'm pretty sure I've got one of these 5 cards that I could use for an any one unit move and do that. Either that. The things I want to do, I suppose that the biggest one I've got left is 7 core, I guess. Not sure exactly how I'm going to go, what I'm going to do with them, to be honest. I mean, we've got these nice elite armoured units, so I want to do something, you know. I don't know, yeah, I'm not too sure. 3rd core, I've got the card for 3rd core, and we've got the 3rd core units that are in low supply just outside Bastogne, that's them there. Could they do anything clever? Well, they can still have a go at this guy. if they wanted to. I mean, they're both in low supply, so they're not going to get a combat tactic along with them. And then possibly the other cards, 5th Corps, and I've got which is the core artillery, which is just artillery now. I was talking about moving this infantry into Liège and possibly dropping this guy across the river. Not maybe that big an issue, but with these units coming across the river now, probably do need to watch. And we're still not seeing. There's still some stuff with the Germans to come. I mean, 47th, the OKW, 2nd SS, 47th. Pretty sure they're all, and 1st SS. I think are all due activation. I know we got rid of some of the cards, but I think there's still some stuff to come. So, yeah. I've just realised something. Forgetting that obviously these are detachments, aren't they? So, yeah, I can't just throw into Houghton. Okay, well I was sitting there thinking if there was another better way to do it as well, but that's sorted that one out then. Yeah. Okay, so I won't be able to do that. Right, well there's no point doing an any one unit move just to get adjacent to it, I don't think. I do have the 18 Corps, which let's say can't activate them this turn, but I could activate them next impulse. Yeah, there's quite a few options again going on here. I get a bit not sure what to do now. There's far too many things for me to consider now, I think. Right, I had that last bit paused overnight. Just looking back on it, I've just waffled on for about 15 minutes, haven't I? I can't seem to get motivated again. I feel like I've hit a bit of a wall at the minute. Been here before, but I dare say we could do with try to get this game finished. It's maybe just been a bit too much enemy action Ardennes. I've been playing some other games, admittedly, so I've not been at this constantly. But right, I'm not going to start waffling on even more. So it was an Allied impulse, and I've just sat for the last 10 minutes again looking over. But again, I'm not going to go over my thoughts. There's a lot of things, a lot of options, which I think I spoke of before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the 3rd Corps card, and I'm going to have a go at this. I actually thought about possibly passing, because what I actually want to do is activate 18 Corps again, then activate 7 Corps. So I'll just let you think about that. There's a couple of reasons for it. I can't activate 18 Corps this impulse, but I'd like to activate them before I activate 7 Corps. And it's just regarding all the stuff up there. You might have some idea of what my thoughts are. Yeah, anyway, let's just do that. So then, like I say, I thought about maybe passing and see what the Germans do, but I thought I might as well do this. I've got this card. The only other thought was artillery and air power. It's a really good combat tactic. I do, however, have 5-1 odds and 5 chip pools here. It's infantry, as in the forest. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a gamble with being in the forest. If I happen to draw forest chits, then it's probably going to be a mistake. But artillery and air power is tempting. One of the battles I've got in mind would really benefit from that, but it seems a bit of a waste. I'm so bad at making my mind up, as I'm sure you've all noticed. Right, and you can't see what's going on off camera, which would be painful for you. I'm going to go for this. So we're going to attack. That's all that's going to happen. No other unit I've got from third course down in R1, and I'm not moving him. No, I'm not. I'm not moving him out R1. I don't think. No, I just need to get moving. Come on, Grant, or you're just going to stall again. Right, so I've got the 7 strength in here. These are infantry, but 2 of them are bracketed, so that's why we're not getting all the chip pools we'd like. And obviously the fact the units are in low supply, I can't play any combat tactics. So 7, but this is full strength, elite armoured units. So we've got 10 in there. So 17 to 3. So 5-1 odds. Like I say, we can't play any chip pools. So that's going to be as good as it gets. Now the Germans do get to play a card. They don't have any of that core in the reserve units, so they're going to get a combat tactic. We've been quite lucky with the drawing of them recently though, so even just looking at it, I don't think a reinforced battle option would be on for them, so that would do. So let me double check on the right bit here. Yeah, I can't play combat tactics. So right, so let's draw a German card then. Second SS, reinforced battle. Oh, that's good. That's really good again. We're really, yeah. That's because the second SS, they're all, most of them in the reserve units box, I think. But I mean, yeah, they would have done something. And like I say, I don't think there's an option to reinforce battle. Let's just have a wee look. There's nothing close by, so I'll zoom out again. Infantry back here. This guy here can't get around. No, because it needs to be something coming up this road, really, doesn't it? And unfortunately, this guy might have done it, although he would have been breaking a restriction. But he's out of fuel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't reach either, even if he was allowed to come. So, yeah, we get lucky again. And that card's gone, That's, actually, didn't we draw the second SS primary card as well as one of the, whether fading initiative or the allied air interdiction, so they might well not be activating at all today. Okay, right, that's good. So 5-1 odds. Like I say, we've got 4 units that can draw a chit. So 4 chit pools. Let's say 2 are bracketed. And we've also got a wheat, so we get 5 chip pools as well as the 5-1 odds. So, right, okay, so 2 minimum, 5 maximum. Let's go and get the 2. So there we go. No air power played. 2-1 odds. So pretty good start. I think I'm as well drawing the other 3. The fact we've got elite armoured units, I'm hoping for no terrain chits turning up, but odds chits, elite armour stuff, any of that will do, because D1 by itself isn't really doing enough a lot. So I'll get the other 3. Yeah, I've just stopped. I've drawn all the 3. Well, I've got the other 2 in my hand. I haven't looked at them yet. But drew this and just started thinking I'd made a blunder there, because could I not have put a unit? But I don't think I could have, because this being a forest, I couldn't go. That'd be 1, 2. I can't come that way because of the zone of control. Mind you, 1, 2. Yeah, no, I couldn't get in and into that hex. I just initially looked at it and thought, oh, Graham, what have you done? You could have moved something round, but no, I think we're okay. Well, that was a pity though. Flank attack would have been nice, but however, it's not. Well, I was okay, although I almost, this was the next chit drawn. He's not got a defender adjacent. And in the last chit, it was like 6-1. I thought, oh, just missed it. But fortunately, it's got 41 on the back, so we're still getting a D1. So that's good. D2, yeah, at least it's going to push him back. Yeah, and no hits to ourselves, so there is that. Okay, so 2 hits to him. So he's only got 2 steps, so he's going to retreat. Can't go here, can't go here. So these are his 2 retreat options. He's got more than one, so these are the forward arrows there. So it's not as if it's a forward arrow or adjacent to a forward arrow. So the next priority is easternmost. So I think he retreats to there for his first hit. And then he'll do a hold check there. Now that's quite interesting because that's a 0 hex, whereas if he retreated there, but I think I've got that right. It is if a choice of more than 1 hex, and I mean it says within above priorities or retreat priorities, retreat into any terrain, however, retreat across unbridged river or into forest, not enter via road. Well, this was a forest via a road, so that both hexes were an option. So then it comes down to if a choice of more than 1 hex, avoid a hex in a forward direction, then avoid a hex adjacent to a forward direction, then choose easternmost. So that's a forward direction, that's adjacent, that's a forward direction, that's adjacent. So none of them are options. So it's still coming down to the last priority, which would be easternmost. So he retreats into there. Sorry if that was a bit long-winded, but most of my stuff seems to get that way, doesn't it? Right, so he's got 1 more hit to take. Now, if losing a step, he will... Yeah, he does become bracketed there, so... option C is, if losing a step would cause the defending unit to exert no zone of control from the hex it occupies, it still is going to retreat again. So it's probably going to retreat into the town. Now it can go either of these 3 hexes this time. There's no arrows, and that's going to be the easternmost. So makes some kind of sense, I think. Or does it? It's not too bad for us because he's going to retreat into there and become dispersed. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I might have possibly preferred them taking a step loss actually, because I'm not so sure. No, I don't think I'm going chasing after him. I mean, I could, but I've only got 4 cards left, so I'm not going to activate them again, and he's just going to become undispersed at the end of the turn. And well, and he might become undispersed before that because they've got still quite a few cards left. So, so yeah, the step loss probably would have been nicer. Okay, so that's that. Now, like I say, I don't think I do want to advance. Let me think about it. I don't think I will. I'm not really sure what. I mean, if it was earlier in the day, yeah, I would say run after that guy. But it's not. So I know what cards I've got left, and that's all I'm getting. So I think I'll just leave them there because we don't know what the Germans are going to do still, and they might bring the OKW units. I don't know where they're going to come in, but I think we still need to keep an eye on Bastogne. So that'll be that. That's all we're doing. Yeah, and the other unit in R1, well, it's in R1, so can't build an IP. Yeah, okay, so that's that. So that's 3rd Corps now at the last activation, so that frees up 18 core for me to do whatever it is I'm going to do. I'm not 100% sure, but it was mainly to try and put a unit in here to surround this guy to then bring 7 core down. It's taking a bit of a chance because they might actually activate and spoil all this, but I'm just a wee bit reluctant to attack this guy. He's got an IP, he's in the forest, he's elite, he's armoured, he's across the river. There's a lot of things that probably say I maybe shouldn't even bother, and however, okay. Right, I'm going to take a cut there just in case I put this, because I've got a couple of bits of the video already together. Why did I say that last 15 minutes? Sorry about that. Just kind of ranting on a bit. I don't think you've seen anything happening, but just some of my thoughts. But yeah, I've struggled to get a bit motivated at the minute to get going with the game, but hopefully that'll change. Right, I'll take a wee break for now, guys, and I'll be back. There'll be a next German Impulse sometime soon. Okay, cheers.